The ex-Nintendo CEO, Reggie, pulls out the practices of Nintendo and currently what's going on. And this kind of demonstrates a huge cultural shift between the mindset Nintendo has now and what they used to have, and highlights a lot of the problems people have been communicating with Nintendo and why they are upset. It goes beyond just simple price increases. It is more so how people view the consumer and what people want to do to really push the console and, gamers as a whole. The old Nintendo seemed to really put gamers and consumers first and really try to be novel and innovative before thinking about money. But now it seems to be the other way around. Money first, games second. What do I mean by this? What exactly is going on? I will explain all of it in this video. Let's get straight into it. So, for all of you that don't know, Reggie is the old ex-CEO of Nintendo America. He is very famous for the line, "My body is ready."
My body is ready.
He's a very famous guy and did such a great job for Nintendo, to the point where he is very well respected up until this day. People still really want to interview this guy, talk to this guy, and commemorate the good efforts he did for Nintendo and the console. Not just him, I have to talk about another Nintendo CEO and how he was able to push Nintendo forward. Two CEOs that were really well respected and will go down in history for making Nintendo as good as it was. So, we all know the Nintendo 2 situation. Prices, games, Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour, not being bundled with the console, which is just unforgivable in my opinion. No one is going to pay out for your glorified tech demo. No parent is going to be like, "Oh, what should I buy for my kid? Let's buy the Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour guide." And especially when they see it and it looks like a user manual, they're not going to do it. I would not do it. I don't know who's going to do that, okay? Yes, it looks neat. Does it mean I should fork out $10 for it? No, I'm not going to do it just out of principle. It's just ridiculous. Other consoles like the 3DS had great built-in software. Nintendo Wii had amazing software. Nintendo Wii had literally the Mii system, which is just the go. It's the go-to system. You could have fun making Miis. The Mii system was amazing. It is undoubtedly one of the best systems I've seen. Putting your Miis in games and, managing them. Great stuff. Used for many, many years. You didn't have to pay for that. Didn't have to pay for Wii Sports. DS, PictoChat, other software. Good stuff. So that's what we expect from Nintendo. High quality stuff, innovative stuff. Not trying to basically scam the consumer out of whatever money they can get. So, Welcome Tour. Why does it matter? Well, it turns out Reggie really pushed for the release of the Wii Sports in the release of the Wii, which definitely had a massive effect on the sales of the Nintendo Wii when it launched. Basically, while all this chaos is going on, Reggie put out a tweet highlighting the Nintendo Wii's pack-in with the console. This is an indirect way of saying, well, look what we used to do back in the day to support our consumers, and look how you guys are acting about it. It's an indirect way of saying, well, we used to care back in the days. We are not really happy with how Nintendo is handling things and their way moving forward. Some people will speculate, now Reggie's not here, we're not really getting, good software, we're just getting this paid software. And it goes to the point where, the old CEOs and old bosses really put their foot forward and, really argue for the consumer's sake. So in the tweet, it links to a video of an interview. We talked about the release of the Wii and the Wii Sports, saying that he made the suggestion again and again to bundle in Wii Sports, even though they're originally going to be paid. And that definitely helped with the launch of the console as a whole, saying that he really had to push for it and he got really a lot of pushback. However, he decided to really fight for that, and eventually we got Wii Sports with the Wii. So there's another video going around where it talks about Reggie pushing for a Wii Play bundle that comes with a controller, so people can really take advantage of the console and the games that came alongside it, since Wii Play is obviously a two-player game. That's just one small example of trying to think about the consumer and trying to push for players instead of trying to push for money. I don't know if that happened for all Wii Play copies, but I think some of them did. You can see some old Reddit posts or images online talking about Wii Play coming with a controller bundled in. Obviously, I don't know if that's all copies, so do your own research on that one, but I'm pretty sure it was the case. What does this mean? It means that Nintendo never used to be this money hungry. They never used to be this anti-consumer. They used to think about the players a lot more. They used to think about the console and, the wider landscape of how the players are going to interact with it, how can they make this a more enjoyable experience, more valuable for them. And this is coming at a time where he's tweeting this in a very chaotic time for Nintendo, where they are really struggling to contain the online backlash they are getting for very justified reasons. So Reggie not coming out saying we support Nintendo, instead highlighting some of the benefits old Nintendo CEOs have done in the past. Definitely a way of saying not so happy with how things are going, and he can fairly tell that obviously he believes that software to show off the console, like Wii Sports did, equivalent to Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour, should be provided for free, since he pushed so hard for that. Now, next big point I want to talk about. Ex-Japanese Nintendo CEO went so far for the company to the point where he took a 50% pay cut in his salary during the difficult times for the company. This is when the Wii U came out and it was basically a commercial failure. It got to the point where he offered a 50% pay cut in order to help the employees at Nintendo. This would in turn help staff rebound from the mistake and also help with layoffs they would have faced. This is one example of corporations not putting themselves first and not trying to be extremely money hungry, and showing honestly dedication to the company that they're working for. And one example of showing dedication for the company that they're working for, willing to take a 50% pay cut. That is huge. And you can see this switch in philosophy with current Nintendo basically doubling down, saying, no, our software is worth it, pay up. Oh, we have a lot of things to discover, so just pay us the money. And I'm not really won over with Mario Kart. I've said it many times. You can find other videos talking about the matter here, such as the Nintendo 2 Switch situation, where I gloss over some of the recent things that's been going on with the Switch 2. But here we can see how Nintendo's shift in ideology is having a knock-on effect to the consumers. And I think it's fair to say, and that's why the backlash is so strong. It's not because we hate Nintendo, it's because we remember how good Nintendo used to be, and within the last 5 years or so, things have gotten really downhill, and some people are speculating it's because of the leadership, such as Nintendo VP Bill Trinen justifying the price of the Welcome Tour. So instead of trying to, empathize with the consumers and say, we'll see what we can do, or anything basically, they're saying, yeah, Welcome Tour is worth it, fork out the money. There was another interview where they said, you're going to have lots to find in Mario Kart World, even though it's having an extremely mixed reaction to, what we've seen so far, and also the console price, where they've said, oh yeah, the console's worth it, and we haven't really thought about the tariffs, but the console is going to be worth the price. So justifications, not trying to really find a middle ground for consumers, just saying that's why everyone is not happy with Nintendo. But that's all for this video. If you want to watch more content, make sure to watch The World's Most Toxic Gamer, because this guy terrorized people for months on end, the same way Nintendo is terrorizing us. Alright, see you guys in the next videos. See ya.